Alright, it is now 9. You good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty. Hey everybody, welcome to Granblue Radio. This is episode number 309. I made some kind of Days of Our Lives reference. I forget exactly what it was, but
I don't even know. I can't even read it.
it involves sand. I didn't want to make the Star Wars meme reference because, well, that one actually has like extremely negative connotations about sand. It's like, we're gonna talk about that one, and
Alright.
I don't want to actually like seem to put an entirely negative spin on it from the very get-go. So anyway, this is Granblue Radio number 309. This is very cheap behind me because he's staying over at my house for the New Year holiday, as is tradition now.
It is DJ.
Alright, so well, as you can see, I'm punching an Ennead fight when, under previous circumstances, the only reason for me to have been punching an Ennead fight would be for anima, because they tried to, like, shore this raid series up a little bit with the, what's it called, Awakening level 9, because it's like, oh, we'll need that again. And it's like, well, that didn't really get too many people back in, so now these things are kicking again.
And why is that?
So, here, I'm going to let Almond finish this thing off. It is really satisfying just to do like 12 million damage with Luffy, though. Anyway, so let's let that happen. So a bunch of things happened after the Christmas stream last week, and so we're gonna have to split this, as is our usual like practice after like gigantic news bombs, into what's immediately important and then punt to things for later. And so the first thing that we're going to be talking about is actually sand, because the first thing that they did, they're like, alright, so we've got these iconic summons that people don't use anymore.
Like Bahamut and Lucifer.
And what did they do last time to those characters that were supposed to be iconic but people didn't use anymore? Here's the 6th star.
Ascending.
So there's Transcendence now for Bahamut, and this thing is disgustingly good at 250. And good. It's the face of the game, right?
So the first thing off is that when you first start to transcend at level 200, your buff that was a one-time use only for damage, CA damage up and CA damage cap up, now becomes a buff that stays there and it cannot be removed.
Yeah, so it's 4 turns long, and if you're doing something, even if you're not doing a CA loop, 4 turns is about the turnaround to do it a full chain, build up the meter for another full chain, and just do it again.
Yeah.
And so even getting a second use out of that buff is huge.
So how do we get it to... Well, what happens at 250 then?
Alright, so I don't have it at 250 yet because I am not sanded up, but the entire package is... So we have 150% boost to all elemental damage, so it becomes an all-elemental, not just dark summon. It amps summon call damage by 50%, which, if you've ever summoned an Arcarum summon to do, like, 6 million damage or however much it does when you have Fated Chain on, it's a lot. It's like a lot.
Bubs does a lot as a summon.
Bubs does a lot. Yeah, and then Bahamut itself, I've seen Bahamut itself do like 9 million, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's a lot. The sub-aura is... It still gives you the Amplify Summon Call damage, which, it's a thing. It's not going to be the reason it's there. The big, crazy feature at level 250 is that, among other things, so the cooldown is at 6 turns, but when you summon it, it reduces summon cooldowns by 1 on the call.
And does that kill itself?
And it does affect itself.
Exactly.
So it's a 4 out of 5 buff.
Instead of 4 out of 6. And 4 out of 6 was already good to begin with.
Mm-hmm. And then, after that, it also, as a passive, reduces your initial summon cooldowns by 3.
If you're as a main.
Oh, it's as a main?
Passive is, it reduces it by 1.
That's right. But reducing summon cooldowns is actually wild. But notably, it's only wild if you play manual. So, like, this thing doesn't actually change anything in full auto type things, which is something that you can't say about the last three in this series: Belial, Summer Belial, and Beelzebub. All of those were very much full auto compatible. In this one, they're just like, no, if you want to do this, do it on full. Call him.
He's on speed dial.
Yeah. And so that's one thing.
So how did we get the Sans to upgrade him?
So the reason that the two of us have our Bahamut to level 240 and not 250 is because Sans, we got them from trophies for the grind that we've done before, because we have all 10 Eternals. We have all 10 Eternals at 5-star and with their skill 4. We have all 10 Arcarum summons at SSR and all 10 Evokers. Each of those is worth 3, and then there are 3 more, 2 of which are currently obtainable within the bounds of the game.
And the last one is actually physically impossible.
It is. The 5th one is. The 7th one is logistically impossible.
Which is upgrade all Eternals to 150.
Yeah, we're I think 9 blue papers away from that.
It's gonna be a bit.
But anyway, so getting the Guider to the Eternal Edge outfit, and then after that getting the 10 Splendor weapons.
This used like before. The reward was you got a skin, which is cool, but the trophy reward was just 50 crystals.
Right, and now they added this thing, and the whole thing about Eternity Sand, about getting it from drops. So this is a gigantic stimulus package, essentially, because we're essentially starting to call this Gold Brick 2.
Yeah. It's really rare drop.
It's really rare with an asterisk. So as far as we know right now, so here it comes from the Enneads. It's in the blue chest for Enneads, I believe?
It's in the gold chest.
It's in the gold chest for Enneads. Oh, that's right. It's in the gold chest for Enneads and 6 Dragons.
Correct.
So here's that. Here's the 6 Dragons.
Malice series.
It's in the Malice series over here.
Which is also a gold chest.
And then it is in the Diaspora series over here.
This
is the one that's in blue.
That is correct.
And then Super Ultimate Bahamut, which people had basically abandoned for a while because they had gotten all of their Ultima weapons, and they're like, okay, there's no reason to do this anymore. Solution? New gold brick, everybody.
The sands are in the gold chest.
And so, these things, so at the moment, there is use for 15 of them there, and then they have also put them into the New World Foundation weapons, and people who understand pattern recognition are going, so Maria Theresa is going to get a 5-star uncap, and there's going to be some sort of prerequisite for it, you say. And you're like, well, hey look, here's Eternity Sand again. So, right now, this moment, you can use up to 42 of these things. Because you can make up to 9 New World Foundation weapons up to 4 stars with current resources. And so, like, this is injecting a huge amount of long game life into those raids. So the Ennead raids, it is a very small chance. As far as we understand, it's less than 1 in 1,000. As of right now, that's what is currently thought. For the Mugen and Diaspora raids, it's closer to like 3%, which is around gold brick for like host chests and things like that for certain raids. And then I don't know if we have enough info about Super Ultimate Bahamut yet to actually give a number.
There's a lot of you need a lot of large numbers in order to figure all these out too. So just say that it's small, but it's not impossible.
Right.
Because we've actually seen a couple of people in our crew actually get a drop.
3 people now. We've actually had 3 people in the crew at least that get 1 drop. And so the thing is that it is a new, very long-term thing to go for. Because I know people who have, like, dozens of gold bricks that they just sit around and wait to be used as Damascus.
Mine are.
And they don't want to have these things start dropping sunlight stones because those things
Don't drop.
they've never been a drop before. And so this is the closest thing you have to a summon gold brick, in that it is only used for the for Bahamut Transcendence, the New World Foundation weapons, and then KMR said outright that the equivalent to Bahamut, which is going to be Lucifer, will also have this. So that'll be another 15 potential uses for sand when Lucifer drops as a Transcendence. Yeah, Blue says here, I haven't gotten a single Eternity Sand yet. I haven't yet.
Me neither.
In our crew of 15-ish active people, we've gotten 3 of them. And it's more common and among the higher difficulty raids, which I don't think anybody's going to complain about oh yeah, it's easier to get from Mugen, Diaspora, or Siegfried because
which are hard, long fights.
They're hard, long fights, dude. And then Super Ultimate Bahamut also seems to have a decent drop rate of it. But it's ways to get people back into here, because Diaspora, after people got their Schrodingers, stopped. Mugen, after people got their the Extinction Blade, stopped.
It makes me cry.
Yeah. Siegfried stopped. So now people are back in there, and now they're willing to help for that decent chance at Eternity Sand. And so
just try to brute force as much damage and then die and leave.
And the thing is, for me, the way that I always say things to people is, always consider this to be a very, very long-term goal that you should not feel pressured to do, because, we have our Bahamut at 240. Bahamut's really good at 240.
Yeah.
It's wild. And then...
using it in any main slot.
Yeah, Shiny Ninja says, I've gotten 2, but it's some hot garbage. It's about the same rate as... It's about the same rate as a gold brick as far as we understand it. And so it's the same as gold brick. It's just that we haven't had the years of hitting things for gold brick that we have for sand. So it'll be something that accumulates over time as long as you are diligent. And it is a diligence reward. And they've kind of needed that for a while. A lot of people who are ranked 325 are I don't have anything to do because gold bricks don't have an allure for me anymore. So they would go in, and even since I have finished the New World Foundation weapons, because I had finished them to the point where I couldn't go any further. I literally cannot get any further.
You're really aided by a different material at that point.
Yeah, it's New World Quartz. I literally cannot upgrade this, and now I'm actually being encouraged to hang on to it because there's an entirely new set of things out there to uncap.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this gives people another goal. And actually, and then the other thing is that along with this, they have done something to make gold bricks, and specifically gold bricks, and then soon Evilites, even easier to get, because there is now a long-term grind reward. So here in Arcarum, in Phase 2, we have the new Xeno stuff.
There's also this weird little swirl here.
Yeah. And so we have ourselves a little pity bar. You're used to that. When this thing gets full, it'll drop a chest. If that chest does not have the rare loot, and the rare loot in here is this Evilite, then you'll get a little tick mark here, in one of these 5 tick marks. At 5 tick marks, then you are guaranteed the lucky loot in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
And so by my napkin math, because each day we're getting somewhere between 5 and 7 with a heavy weighting toward 5. Some people get 6 at random, some people I've seen some people get 7.
That's the range I've seen though, so.
And so, assuming that this goes up to 100, because the first day I eyebaled this, about 20 of these will fit across the bar, then that times 5, it's about 3 to 4 months, and you are guaranteed either a Saphira Evilite over here, or a gold brick over here. So
I kind of want the other one, but
yeah, the fire and wind ones get gold brick, and the earth and water ones get Evilite.
The problem is I'm trying to get those some of those weapons that were there.
Yeah, these weapons here?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually on my first day, I actually got the Militis bow from the new Xeno Militis.
Mm-hmm.
And so the nice thing about this is that not only does it accumulate, and it just says, at the end of this road, you will get a gold brick. Just period. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's an escalating chance until you get it. It starts at a very low chance, and then it just becomes 100%.
It also begs the question, though, of what would we need Evilites for?
That's 5 stars coming up next month, so...
Yep, we'll find that out later.
Yeah, because the thing is that people like us, who have gotten Evilites from, like, also codes and things like that, just have, like, 2 or 3 from giveaways sitting around.
I think?
Yeah.
Let me check my... I'm not going to check on this computer.
I'm going to hit favorite. I currently have 3 of them.
Yeah. I have 4 in shop, I believe.
Yeah. I think I have more in shop. Let's take a look at the shop. Trader. Do I have more in
there?
these?
There's like 1 in here. Because they added 1 since you stopped, I think. Or...
There it is. Yeah, there's another one just sitting here waiting to be bought. Because I haven't needed it yet.
Isn't there also a Guild Wars shop?
So, alright, Blue's asking, it's like, wait, that's how it works. I thought the guarantee is just the chest. So the thing is, that's what the second bar is for, Blue. So, we have ourselves the first bar that fills up, and as soon as this fills up, it is your chance to get a chest, and then when it goes to 0, when you get the chest, and it doesn't have the lucky loot in it, then it fills in one of these bubbles at the bottom. And there are 5 bubbles to fill. And once those are filled and you get the chest, then it's guaranteed to get you the gold brick or the Evilite.
Yeah. The one thing I actually do like about the existence of this thing as well is that the normal drop it actually gives is also it gives you at least a drop from for the what's it called?
The boss summons.
The boss fight you need.
Mm-hmm.
So like you finish this fight here, you can go to the boss on the right of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, therefore, you just do these 2, and you don't have to grind the other sectors.
And not only do you not have to grind the other sectors, you don't have to grind materials for this. You just plain get 1 a day. You don't have to feel like you go in every day or you're wasting something because these accumulate and will accumulate until the end of time.
What? How many years was it again?
270,000 years to hit the maximum number of possible sextants.
All right, see you there in the future machine.
Yeah. But yeah, so, you know, this is their concession to, it's like, we know that the sand grind is going to be long, and if you're trying to do all of these dailies, which, you know, I personally as a person do not recommend that you do, that's a lot of increased grind that they have added to the game. And so they're going to take a lot of that away. It's like, hey, if you don't want to just host your daily brick raids, then don't. You don't need bricks as much anymore. You can get them from Patience and Sandbox. You know, and it's not even a top end thing. You just have to get to Sandbox 2.
And it just retroactively builds up.
Yeah, and retroactively it grants you everything that has been available since the beginning of this feature, which is nice. It is something that you can take a break from it, and then you can come back later and you have not missed a thing. Which is something that they've been trying to do for a long time with Arcarum itself, because a lot of people are very behind on Arcarum. This is part of why, as part of the catch-up mechanic, things like events have Arca points in them now. Just regular-ass events. In the token draw. Because there's, what, 1,000 per box now?
Yeah,
it's 1,000 per box, up to 20 boxes. So
it's only just back-and-only reruns.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's my current thoughts on Sand. I haven't gotten one yet, but I know that I'll get them, and I'm not in a hurry to get to 250 Bahamut. I might be in a hurry to get to Maria Theresa. It depends on when they release that.
My thing's later in the list, so I'm chill for now.
Yeah.
Frau.
Yeah, Frau's a bit later.
Yeah, she's like 3rd wave?
Mm-hmm.
Either 3rd or 4th wave.
Yeah. Because Kaim and Maria Theresa are first, and I don't know how many people are actually caring about Kaim's 5-star on cap, but yeah. Oh hey, we're now at 4 crew members.
Oh, hey.
Who have gotten it, because Trip just got one in, it
An
looks
Ennead,
like
right?
it... Is that an Ennead? Oh, it is. It's Osiris, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. So anyway, so it just happens. I'm not in a hurry. It's not like Bahamut is going to do crazy things to anything other than like CA loop teams, which, you know, it just increases your cap for 4 turns.
You know
it's
what
like
you guys do really well in? Long fights.
Yeah. That's true. It has high uptime and long manual fights. It's like I'm actually summoning more in Mugen than anywhere else right now for Bahamut.
That makes sense.
Because it's a long fight, it's manual, and I CA loop in it.
And also, the other thing about this is that you need to hit a damage threshold with Mugen.
Mm-hmm.
If you are Schrodinger's and you're low in HP, you're not going to hit some of those damage thresholds, actually.
Sometimes, yeah. But anyway, so that's where I currently stand on Sand. Check again after Fest. We'll see how many of those have dropped in the meantime, in the next 3 weeks.
They could reward it, you know.
They could just give us some, yeah. I may also just go insane and start just reserving my Sunlight Stones for Blue Skin.
Oh, yeah, because that's the option.
Yeah, just to get 3 guaranteed. I probably won't because I think my Sunlight Stone stock is actually very low.
Because you stopped grabbing them for a while, didn't you?
No, I always grab them. The main thing is that each Diaspora tier fight I have stone to summon for. Yeah, I'm at 2 and I would need 2 more Sunlight Stones in order to get Blue Skin. So I can I can line everything up, but I cannot actually claim it yet.
Can you use a Musume carrot?
Do I have a new Musume carrot, or did I use it already?
You used that a long time ago.
Yeah, I was like, I used that and I used my cheeseburger a long time ago.
Yeah.
So did I use my chocolate shrooms? I think I did. I think I used my chocolate mushrooms as well in my chocolate cones. Anyway, so yeah, check back in 3 weeks. We'll see. But you know, it's not like diligence has been a problem for me in the past.
Yeah.
Is it okay to drunk drive if you don't have a car?
What?
Okay, sure. Whatever. That is not a question that is related to this podcast. So anyway, all right. We have taken care of that subject. Should we talk about the characters now? Because we are in Flash Gala.
So there are 2 new characters.
Yeah, where do you want to start?
Aaron?
All right, let's talk about
Aaron's
Aaron.
Well, they're both old characters at this point.
Mm-hmm.
This is Aaron's first SSR.
Yeah, congratulations, Aaron.
Our first Fire Switch character that we ever got back in like 2016.
It was a long time ago. She introduced a mechanic to the game that has made it to every element now. So, the thing that I want to point out first is we always now start with the support skills of the CA to tell you, those are the signposts that tell you what you're supposed to be doing. And in this case, it's both of them. So her support skill is, she gives healing specs based on Deluge Crests.
You know, crest characters, always good. Always nice to have.
Water has so many of them.
And you get 2% healing spec per crest, so up to 10.
They've given so many backline water characters. It's actually a problem.
At least we can filter these.
We can filter for these, yeah. But it's like, I am just going to go in and do that filter right now. So here's characters.
You gotta just go to water.
Water.
Check your series.
Uncheck series, so they're not tie-ins. Other with sub-member effects. Look at this!
The Raimon's pretty good.
There's so many of these.
I use Leisha for extra damage on Chain Burst.
I use Leisha for the extra on Chain Burst. I've used Kololu for the supplemental on
skill damage.
It's no, it's just supplemental damage. Period.
Oh, okay. I just use her, so.
Let's see here. I've used well, I have Aaron in the back right now.
We're not counting any evokers.
There's the evokers.
They always are built like this.
In a previous time period, the old Charlotta was used for her meter's passive, but she is no more.
5% meter. I actually use that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need it for the CA on turn 0, on turn 1.
But yeah, like there's so many of these. You have so many to pick from now. It's actually a difficult choice sometimes.
Choice paralysis. Next one though.
All right, the other one. So when she attacks at Glaciate 7, then she does a water nuke and a heal.
And nuke is kind of lackluster. Well, it's not that bad though. It's 500k. It's free.
It's a free 500k nuke. Okay.
And the heal is 1500.
The heal is 1500, but it's every turn
Yeah.
once you get to the Glaciate 7. So it's one of those things where it's like she's the meeting point of Lily and Lancelot at that point. She is both trying to get Glaciate up and healing once you get to that Glaciate level, and the more crests that you have, then the more she heals for. Because, this 1500 thing is actually 1650 when you have those 5 crests built up. Alright, so her CA is, she gives herself a Deluge Crest, and she activates her skill 2.
Skill 2 reads that all foes take 500k, raise your gauge shape by 1, inflict DA/TA down stackable, and if you're at Deluge Crest 5, it activates twice.
Yeah, so she's raising her Glaciate and giving a crest every time she CAs, along with the nuke. The nuke is kind of just there. The other things are the things that matter here. And then, yeah, if she has 5 crests, then double casts. Then the damage actually matters from Crystal Blizzard when you're double casting things.
It's AoE too, so it's not bad. It beats through Mirror Image.
All right, and then we have Crystal Cloak here, which is our old friend Fire Switch, which her SR version had. 5 turns of it. Fire damage reduction.
It's 30%, and remember, it's reduction is not a cut.
And then, yeah, the Water Crest thing.
So it's a 5-hour age. Pretty good duration, actually. You can extend it in water. Dang, that's wild. Other thing is, because it's a reduction, it actually works with Lily, who is a cut.
So you will be... Lily's in a 70% cut, as I recall.
Correct.
And
so
then...
reducing that by 30% would be around...
So it is...
80-something?
Yeah, it's 81% basic. Well, sorry. It is... You're taking 30% damage, and then you cut that down another 9%, so you're taking essentially 21% of original damage.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
And her thing lasts 5 turns. Lily's only lasts 2, I believe.
It does. The other thing about these kinds of things is that this works off element, where Lily... Or it makes Lily's work off element.
Yeah.
And so these things all work together very well.
Also, Deluge Crest.
Yeah. Which Lily helps with, too. Yeah. Alright. And then the last one is that she gets Reflect. And then she gives herself the Lily-style buff, I believe.
It's actually closer to Valentine's Medusa, actually.
Okay. So it stays on there the entire time, or...
Let's see.
So it waits for the opponent to use a special attack, and then...
It's 50% meter, 30% CA damage up, and 10% CA cap up. It's actually the same numbers as Valentine's Medusa.
As V Medusa. Okay. Got it.
Same duration too, it's 3 turns.
Okay, so she's got a Valentine's Medusa button. But everything up here is about healing and reducing damage. So, you want to get her Glaciate up as high as possible. She'll heal you every turn when she attacks. She'll amp the amount of healing that you would take from something like Lily. So think about her with Lily, supplementing Lily as a defensive character, where you're using both of them along with the highest damage water character right now, Lancelot. So let's just take her in that Lily-Lancelot team.
So the only thing you would lose from this is Lily's double cast on skill 2.
Right, because they're both unknowns.
And there was another thing in Lily's passive. I'm trying to remember. I'm just looking up.
And so the thing is that she's going to be there building up Glaciate a little bit faster for Lancelot. She will be, and then when the enemy actually uses a special attack, Lily will heal you and clear you. She will give you 50% meter in order to get, Lancelot really appreciates just getting an infusion of 50 meter for no reason. It gives her the ability to add more Glaciate levels, and it all cascades into some cool things. This button is kind of unreliable for a lot of things, because in a lot of cases in V2 you would rather just never let the special attack happen.
But if you're not in V2, it's actually pretty nice because those happen regardless. And the other thing is that you're charging both her and Lancelot's meter with this.
Or just everybody. And giving everybody 50 meter is not an insignificant thing.
The other thing that changes is Lily's like boost to attack, so that's inconsequential.
Yeah. And so, like, this is a pretty cool design. Like, the fire switch thing, it would make more waves if Summer Clearies hadn't been printed a few months ago. But, you know, the difference between a limited character and a non-limited character is pretty big. Because, you know, a lot of the time when we talk about these characters, we're like, alright, so here's the context. If you have the following limited characters, and in this case, it's like, it's Lily.
Why can work without limited characters, to be honest.
Yeah, because it's like, this is Lily. Lily is the single most common water character.
She was ranked number 1 on
usage. No matter what rank you were a couple years ago, people were using Lily. And she does really well working with a character that everyone has and knows is good.
You know, also she works with is Phylene.
I'm not talking to you. I don't know who Phylene is. Her war crimes should be confined to other games. But yeah, she does work well with Phylene.
Yeah, they both, because of Glaciate stuff.
Mm-hmm. And so they're slowly adding more things that care about Glaciate. And she builds it for herself, but if you have multiple Glaciate characters, they build it for each other really fast.
And they have a Glaciate party and just do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
They actually do just a lot.
And then the MC also is a Glaciate party member now, if you want to be a Glaciate party member. So, yeah, important question, do Aaron and Lily have banter? I didn't check. I don't know.
They do.
Probably. They're usually very good at that, yeah.
Because SR versions.
Yeah, that's true, actually. If they've had them since the SR version, but I don't know. So then let's talk about the other character now then, since that's
Aaron's good.
Aaron's good. All right, so let's start with the weapon for this one, because Wind had been left out. This is the last of the cycle, basically.
All right.
Because we had Galleon Staff, we had Lord of Flames, and we had Wamdis's Parasol, and so here we now have Charlotta's, and so attack, defense, and damage cap up, and they're all, I believe, the exact same numbers of the weapons.
40 EX, 25 defense, 7% special. Special goes up to 20.
So it is the exact same numbers as the 3 weapons just mentioned, so this fills out the cycle.
However, your requirement is to have 15 different weapon skills.
So the blog post that introduced this did explain it, and it literally has some very, like, There's some things that are very intuitive, and there's some things that are very unintuitive
there's
about it.
There's a lot of the text that seems redundant, and that's because they come from a different skill.
And so here's what ends up happening. When the game itself says this is the number of boosts you have, then it asks and looks and sees if you have 15 or more. And the game will tell you how many it has. And as you can see right here, right now, this second, before I put in the Charlotta weapon, it would work for the MC and it would not work for the other 3 characters.
Depends on it would depend which weapon you remove.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, right now, this moment, assuming that I did have one of those in there already. And so here's the MC, and so here's multiple ones that say massive boost to wind attack. That no matter how many weapons you have with that text description, including if they are opposite weapon types or weapon skill types, it counts as the same text.
So just count the number.
It is just
really just look at the number.
Count number of bullet points.
I was going to say count number of boosts.
Yeah, and so it's actually easier to look up than you think it is, and the game already shows you. And once again, because it's a completely new kind of weapon type or weapon skill type, then you're already getting a lot. And it's like it does not have any of the same skill types as the Opus, because the Opus is Large Majesty, and this is going to be Small Majesty at level 150. Jade Valuables is a completely new one.
And that counts towards the total.
That counts toward the total. And then from there, it's like you put on like an Ennead weapon, and Ennead weapon has 3 A Dark Opus has 3, as already mentioned. An Ultima should have 3. Like, one of the few ones where you look at it and kind of get a little bit sad is the Seraphic, because the Seraphic is also Small Majesty.
Yeah.
So that'll overlap.
So you would want the ideal thing would actually be have your Ultima be the Seraphic modifier.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to also remember that the first skill of the Ultima only counts your weapon towards the character that has the weapon type of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to also make adjustments according to that.
But like when people were looking at their grids before this weapon, they were like, "I'm already at 14." So it doesn't take that much. You just have to actually like tweak it around until the number tells you 15.
Yep. Things they note in the wiki. Omega normal weapon skills count as the same weapon skill as long as they're the same strength.
Mm-hmm.
If they're different strengths, it counts differently.
Right. That's why it's the text. I was mentioning like the text matters. Where Massive Wind, if it's Magna, and Massive Wind, if it is Primal, then they have the same text, so they count the same way for this thing in particular.
And this thing is like Small Majesty, right?
This is Small Majesty.
Yeah, so you can't use it with the Seraphic.
Well, you can. It's just that
you only get one skill from the Seraphic.
It puts strain on the other weapons to have more skills on them.
And grids are really busy.
They are, but the thing is, the grids being busy helps this weapon. Because it's like, mine here is fairly standard, right? It's like 2 harps. So here's stamina, here is crit. Here is a different strength of crit, and also I believe this is also Small Majesty. So, you know...
Oh, Small Majesty of, yeah.
Yeah, but it still counts the same way. But I'm already at 14, so it's not going to take that much to push me over to 15. And especially if just that 15th is just Jade Valuables.
The question is, though, do you run 3? And the answer is...
Probably.
Well, the thing is, then your grid's even busier.
Yeah. You have 3 of the same thing. Yeah.
So you have you have 6 slots and a main hand to work with to make up for 13.
Right. But you know, I mean, we've been slamming HP into water grids in order to reach those. The
thing is, water grids have a cap, though.
Yeah, that's true.
You can only have like 400% HP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, the grid that goes for this is not that different from the existing grid you already have, so it slides in pretty easily.
Just putting it on but 3 is the weird part.
Mm-hmm. All right, now to the character herself.
I like this character.
This character's the thing that I'm going to say coming into this is that like they put in the Enneads to be slightly longer fights and to be playgrounds for characters. This character will kill an Ennead too fast to actually come fully online. She does so many things to turbocharge your team. It's like, all right, we got to find another team to fight, another fight to actually challenge her in. So we're like, all right, what's she good in? Long fights, and we're like Nightmare 200 and Super Ultimate Bahamut. She's gonna be good in those. Like that's a really good starting place when we're starting this conversation.
You know what she's also really good at?
What's this?
Is your one-turn fight button.
Yeah, also one-turn fights. That's true. So, all right, let's talk about how she does in one-turn fights. In one-turn fights, it's
when justice.
When Charlotta's a main ally at battle start, 40% boost to all characters' charge meter, which means that you only need one Huang Long.
And MC will also be able to join.
Mm-hmm. So this is the Ilnot passive here. Then she has Noble Order. So everybody on the team who is win starts with a 5-turn attack, defense, and debuff resistance buff. Do you have the numbers for those right now?
Alright, 20% attack perpetuity, 50% defense, and it's actually somehow only 50% debuff resistance.
So 50% defense, along with Halloween Vein in the back line, and that's another 50%, and then you can have you can fit in some grid defense relatively easily once you slot in like an Ennead Axe or something like that. And so you can have a passive 100% or more defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, either so anyway, so that's super strong. And it's like, Oh, it's only 5 turns. Like, it's way more than 5 turns.
So, with Skill 2, Noble Moon, she extends it by 2 turns.
And this is available on turn 1. So, actually, you should consider it to be a 7-turn buff to start the fight. But yeah, going back to the 1-turn thing, she also does extra damage at the end of her CA. But yeah, and then after she CAs, then her cooldowns for all of her red skills end. So that Noble Moon gets hit again every time she CAs, extending by another 2. And so as long as you can keep giving her meter, and we'll get to the ways to keep giving her meter later, because she starts with a lot, then this buff is permanent. And they say it's like, the challenge is going to become how long you can keep that buff up. Because it starts at 7, and then after that point, this is a 7-turn cooldown, you should hit it before then. You need to CA at least once. And it's like, but she started with 70 meter minimum, so, you know.
Alright, it's called off cooldown on turn 2.
Yeah. Yeah, Neon's is 30% defense for her skill 2, that's right. So you can have a lot of passive defense just by having her on the team.
Also, the nuke from the CA, not that bad. It's 1.16.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it gets boosted by skill damage.
Yeah, so end cooldown for her damage skills. So, you know, it does damage, but the damage is only there so that you can reset it with her CA. Here's the other thing. The second time you cast it, which is going to be turn 2, basically, or maybe turn 3 if you're not doing these things that way, then she gets a boost to her CA specs.
Everybody actually gets that. And it's 100% CA damage and 5% CA cap. This is stackable up to 100% CA damage and 50% CA damage cap.
Which is higher than normal, because normally that number has been 90-30. We're used to 90-30 for that number.
Yep.
And then from...
But it also can't be removed.
Yeah, can't be removed. And then from third cast, 15% boost to her meter.
Everybody's meter.
To everybody's meter. It says casters.
It says all... my thing says all allies.
Maybe it's... Well, anyway... The point is, it gets her that much closer to CAing again. And so she will start with a boost toward getting the next one. And then she can hit CA again, and then you do all these things all over again. The other one is... this is the one where a bunch of her damage is going to come from. The Oath of Lumiel, where it does 10 hits of wind damage.
48k each, and remember you are the one with the supplemental skill damage as his dragon weapon.
It dispels.
That's always just good.
And then the second one gives minus accuracy.
3 turns.
Secunda. And it's 3 turns long, and so it's actually quite possible to keep this up permanently.
About that.
But
strength 50%.
Yeah.
So.
And then the third cast on, she delays when she hits this. So she delays every time she CAs. There's a lot of characters that do that, and this is still very good. It's everybody, Blue says? Yeah, okay. Everybody. Wow. 15% to everybody. So you can do you can do full chain loops with her.
Yeah. You just need another like 10% from somewhere. Usually.
And that's before we even get to her long cooldown thing.
Unfortunately, this is not a red skill, so it does not get cheated out.
But it is a full turn of damage immunity. So this is the Zoe conjunction button. It is not just regular unchallenged to team.
Yeah, next damage received will be ineffective.
And then it gives your entire team drain, and the entire team drain is also uncapped. It's based on percentages as far as I know, because the numbers I've seen on this...
Yeah, it's 10% of your max HP.
Yeah, so that is the other part that reminds me of Zoe's conjunction, because that one is based on your max HP, and you just keep draining that.
So that one's only available on turn 10 and onward.
Yeah, and then this is, what, a 12-turn cooldown when she's leveled?
12 turn.
So you probably won't get that second one for a very long time, but the button existing is wildly amazing. And then she's going to be hitting these two at a fearsome rate. And then, oh, by the way, when you get past turn 10, she starts CA reactivating.
Does not stack with the buff of CA reactivate, by the way.
And then she can recast them. So she does 2 CAs and 2 nukes every time she does this, which means that she gets 30 meter to the entire team every time that she CAs.
And yeah, that's actually the loop.
That's the full loop. That's all you need. So she starts casting this twice after turn 10.
So she's good before turn 10. She's amazing after turn 10.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, remember going back to your noble order. Your noble order probably has been extended by a lot so far.
Yeah. Once you get to that point and this buff is still up, you're probably having that buff for the rest of the game.
Unless you get stunned by something that isn't, because you're not 100% debuff resistant.
Yep. And so, I mean, there is a lot here. Good and short, good and long. Like, medium length, you just kind of shrug and go back to your normal characters. But, like, it says a lot about this character. It's like, the best places for her that we see right now, this moment, are going to be super hard raids, Nightmare 200 on full auto, anything that you want to just see a loop on, but that it needs to be, like, 10 plus to be super consistent. And then we... like, this character is actually also very good against Siegfried, which is our Earth Diaspora tier, you know? Like, this character does everything you want, and Siegfried also.
She's good.
Yeah. So
she is now 2 water, 2 light, and 2 winds.
Yeah. Good job, Charlotta. This is a real good one. So, we've taken a lot of time. We're going to actually do our usual thing and punt a lot of the other content, including DJ was actually taking notes and watching videos on the 12 new weapons that dropped.
That's going to take a while.
Yeah.
I'll also probably forget, by the way.
That's fine. We're not really, like, that interested in these things. Like, they're all ridiculous. They actually it seems like they did a good work.
Very good use case.
Yeah, they have
Instead of being a niche use case.
Yeah. Well, they're all niche use cases, but they're very, very, very strong in that niche. The only one that I'm going to shine a light on right now, this moment, is the Zosimos, because this one is obviously screaming at you and grabbing you by the shoulders and shaking you, going, "Wait for Warlock 5!"
I'm gonna wait to buy that if that's the case.
It's like, Warlock. This is a Warlock 5 weapon. Look at the crest thing. The word crest means that you're waiting for Warlock.
Anyways.
But anyway.
We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, this is the one that is like, that doesn't have the same grade as the other ones just because we're waiting. The rest of these already are ridiculous. And, well, good for them.
Yeah.
What we actually want to talk about, and what we actually have in hand now...
There was a rebalance, actually.
Yeah, on the 26th, there was a balance update. They've had so many patches that they've had to do. Game balance update. Here we go.
Alright, let's get through it.
Alright, so new Gondagoza. On his new CA, the original CA, deals triple attacks. He deals triple attacks after it. Cool.
He got rid of his consuming all his eternal rage.
Yeah,
that was not fun.
Instead of eternal rage, it's now Raging Fist. Raging Fist is something that doesn't go away once he gets it, and
like the first one.
And so he now gets the 3 Raging Fist levels from his new CA at level 100. Well, level 80 uncap. Next, they added a gravity to his old solar crest. It's like, okay, sure.
Yeah, why not?
It's good to have. Fire kind of wanted more of these. Alright, Flashbeat Branding Palm.
So it used to give 10 Eternal Rage. That's being built somewhere else.
Yeah.
So instead, we get it gained CA damage up and CA damage cap up. I do not have the numbers on me right now.
Yeah. Then we have the True Avidia is the one that we should look at because that's the upgraded version once he's 5-star. There's an unmatched aspiration effect to the caster.
So that actually already existed. Changed is the key thing.
Mm-hmm. And then he now attacks out of turn when hitting that button, which is very good given that he has guaranteed triple attacks and such.
Yeah, so Uninspired Inspiration counters with a skill when targeted by a foe, and he's more likely to be attacked.
Yeah. So, fun thing, if you didn't know about this, but when they had recently just updated that, he did more damage than was intended.
Oh.
It was... Hold on. There's something around here that specifically said that Gondagoza... The thing is, his counter didn't have a cap on it. They missed. They were like, oops, we need to change that one. There it is. Damage dealt by a video when countering being different from what was intended. You could actually very easily get to 13 million per hit with that. The hard cap. Because, well, I mean, why do I say easily? I mean, like, the screenshots were with... Like, it was people going like, wait, that number's way higher than it should be. How high does this go? And the answer is all the way up.
Yeah, no, that needs capped.
That became capped. Because he does a big-ass nuke when he's targeted.
Targeted, not hit.
Yeah. And then they gave him the Fiorito passive, where...
So the old passive was garbage, and it gave 10% DA to phased allies.
And now, he has the Fiorito passive, so the first melee in your grid gives him attack. The next one's defense, then guaranteed MA, then damage cap, and then fire chaser.
Yep. There's some good fist, like a Gondago's fist.
Gondagoza fist is probably the worst of these. Although I have used it before.
Low turn fights.
Reinhardt's
our fist, that's what it was.
Reinhardt's our fist, Kiss of the Devil.
That's 3. If you count the double fist.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's fairly easy to go from there. Like, Valentine's Gotha Claw is a usable one. Like, his use case in harder fights got higher when he gained gravity over here.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, there's a lot of ways to make this work, and you don't have to go all the way if you don't want to, but 5 is really cool. But a lot of his damage comes from that counter now. Which is, yeah, Unrivaled Fighter. When he has...
dealt damage, he gets a stack, and went at 10, nuke the board with 1000% fire damage.
Yeah, so that one comes with... So you already get 1 from CAing with Fist of Hair-Raising Fury. You get another 3 to get 4 from CAing. And then, like, your nukes and your attack out of turn each raise that. And so it's very easy to get to 10. And
countering.
Yeah. And then, the countering is a ridiculous amount of damage. So this character, I've tried this character out a bit. Super fun.
Cool. Good.
Super fun. It was...
100% DA is bad. I mean, not 100%. What? A 10% DA is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, next character. We still have a lot.
So Halloween Danua. This character was extremely reliant on, like, Sleep and Fear, which were too easy to break.
And still kind of does.
So this is the thing that... So here's... Alright, so Soft Touch. When a foe has Comatose, her skills come back. Also, Carnival of Fear... that one... Hold on. Let's keep going. There's other stuff going on, but her... our crewmate Arm is a huge Danuma fan, and he's been laughing this entire time. He's like, I'm sleep looping Tiamat Malice. the way that they've done this. So, Saurus was sleep and now is comatose, I think?
Yeah. It used to be sleep, now it's comatose.
And comatose is way better than sleep because it doesn't always break as soon as you take damage. And so some of the bigger things. This is a damage skill now, so it goes after debuff. So, one of the annoying things about Neon's Comatose is that since it's on a blue skill, it happens before all the nukes happen when you're full autoing. This goes around that. Mm-hmm. So, because it's a nuke, it's one of the last things, so you have fewer chances to break it, even if it's not, like, 100% either way. So that's a nice quality of life thing.
That's why also for that button, they also added the EMP skill to reduce attack and defense for Neo.
Mm-hmm. They, like, turbocharged Trick Reaper over here because, well, the skill cooldown is way higher now.
Yeah, it went from 5. It went from 4 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you use that, bigger damage than before.
Mm-hmm.
Dispel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 3 random debuffs. You want? Have you seen those?
I have not seen the list.
All right, let me go grab the list.
So we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah.
And Blood Sacrifice.
The cooldown being 10 turns, though, we're going back down to soft touch and say when a foe has Comatose at the end, she just gets it back.
So if they didn't wake up.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3 debuffs, 25. These are all local, except for Gravity. Gravity's one of them.
Okay, so Gravity.
One of them is 25% attack down.
Okay. Arrow Rain.
25% defense down.
Okay.
These are all for 5 turns, by the way. 100% DA, TA down.
Okay, and that's the same debuff, basically? Or are they separate?
They're counted as 2 different ones.
They're counted as 2 different ones, so you can roll DA down or TA down or both, okay?
They're both at the same time.
Oh, okay. Got it.
It's just that they're counted as 2 different debuffs.
Got it. Okay.
Accuracy down.
Okay.
20% of special attack damage lowered.
Those are a very strong list. And so the thing is that, like I said, he was laughing because if the game lets you inflict Comatose on the boss, she will set play it. She will put it to sleep last. You will attack, and as long as your attacks don't also wake them up, she just does it all over again.
You will still need... So the base accuracy of Comatose is apparently 80%, so it's still like a normal debuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take that into account.
Yeah.
But its actual duration is between 3 or 4 turns if they don't wake up.
Mm-hmm. And then the last thing is that, yeah, so with the whole like petrify synergy thing, they added if the enemy is petrified, then her CA activates twice, and she activates Trick Reaper again, so she gets the Dispel, the 3 random debuffs, when a fire ally casts a petrify effect skill.
Which includes herself, because she's a fire ally.
So her damage went way up, her utility went way up, and then sometimes, if the game allows the boss to be comatose, this is not always the case, and since we do have Fire Unite and Fight coming up, this actually matters a lot on when it allows the boss to be made comatose.
Because things to note, for if people don't notice, is that bosses can change their debuff resistance during parts of fights.
Yeah, like one of the reasons that Wamdis became one of the best characters against high-level Nightmare is because she tries to cast Paralyze on turn 1, and on turn 1 the boss was vulnerable to the Nightmare boss was vulnerable to Paralyze, and so it just made things way faster because the boss didn't move.
So you don't have to worry for its animations, you don't have to worry about your HP being lowered.
Yeah, and it's like the Neon thing also, like this is, if you've played Neon against a boss and you're just like, this is asleep, it's not doing anything, this is amazing, and she could potentially do that multiple times, or they can just turn her off for the Nightmare boss.
But she also just allows you to not use Mist.
There's a whole lot going on here. There is a lot of really good stuff going on with Halloween Danoa.
The problem is she's a Halloween character and I don't have her.
I don't remember if I have her. I've just been like happy for Arm that the character he came back for basically is like super good. Let's take a look. Halloween Fire. I don't have Halloween Fire. Wait, hold on.
It's up.
Okay, I don't have any Halloween Fire. Okay, so I don't have her and I don't have Azazel.
I have that guy.
Alright, next up we have Satyr.
Okay, she needed this, by the way. She actually did.
Rodrant notes that Sandbox doesn't have any comatose resistance, so it's like, yeah, she can just dunk all over Garuda and like Xeno Sagittarius too. Nice.
So Primal Pals.
Alright, let's go start with Primal Pals Unite and Prima Primal.
So it used to be that she gained this effect of when she attacks, based on the number of main Primal Pals. 20% wind damage taken, reduced. 100% boosted charge bar on taking damage and revitalize. So if you have 3 primals,
it was super meh. So now, based on the number of primal allies in the party, including herself, she gets attack up, defense up, guaranteed triple attack.
That's a magic one.
Dodge up, and then boost to healing.
She doesn't need the fourth or fifth one.
Yeah.
So magic 3. Really good. You can look at a Medusa.
The 5th is nice if you can get to it though, because she's going to be healing a lot. The new version of her heals a lot. So
So we need to go back to
Prima Primal
first.
So she used to max out at 2 stars, I believe.
She maxed up from 3, but she started with 2.
Started with 2, that's right. So now she activates her heal when they...
yeah, that's always been there.
Yeah, when they do CA, and then ends the en avant cooldown. But the part where you have 5 as a max and start with 3 is actually very big for her. And then
the other nice thing is that Enteron removed the part where it consumes 1 of those 2 that you have,
and it activates a number of times based on the number of twinkles that she has.
Yep. Most of the time, this is actually just gonna be 3. Like a lot of the time, because if your foe is CAing you, you spend 2.
To heal?
You spend 1 to heal, and then your skill 3 is going to cast it as well.
But, like, there's just a lot more to this now.
And now she can dodge all also.
Yeah, the dodge all on CA. So, Satyr got way better, and...
she's good at protecting Medusa.
She's good at protecting Medusa, but also we'll see what happens with Shiva in a week. Because Shiva gets his uncap in a week.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
She's a big winner. Then... The funny thing is that Wilness has never stopped being a good character.
People just complain about him.
People just complain about it for someone, and so they didn't give him anything other than just this is the look at how good this character already is change.
Here,
where it's like
that's Singed. Why not? He's gonna cast it every turn.
Yeah. Here's a level of Singed every turn for Percival or Anna.
Yeah.
And whoever we decide to make a Singed character in the future.
Is, a thing that's gonna happen. Let's be honest.
We don't know. Maybe Michael will have a Singed thing.
We'll find out.
We'll find out in a couple
days.
We'll find out in a couple days. Then there's Limitless Vermilion. They added an extra thing to him.
Another nuke.
So when you do a Fated Chain, you do the 1.5 million for the Fated Chain. Wilness himself will do another nuke. And then he still gets the CA instant standby and this boost to CA specs.
He's good.
He's still good. He never stopped being good.
Yep. I love him. He does big damage. He outdamages a lot of characters.
Big damage. Anyway, so that is our... Ooh, it's Premium Friday.
We fought dinosaurs, and now we have our shrimp.
Yeah. Oh, man. I want Tira so bad.
Yeah, that event was funny.
So, this is the last thing we're doing for today. I just want to read Tira's description out loud to those who haven't read it.
Also, we immediately knew it was Machiko. That was a fun one.
She's got a very distinctive voice.
Yeah.
A self-proclaimed mad scientist of sorts who loves Tyrannosauruses and money. Despite how cool she may think her costume to be, people do think of her outfit as adorable or degenerate. The reason she seeks to make money is so that she can further her studies in creating even more Tyrannosauruses. After an incident with Friday at the Aloha's Resort, she resolves to make much more money through more ethical means. With a brilliant but needy mind, her childish nature and appearance affirms that she will undoubtedly return to the resort and the Grand Cipher again to garner more attention, along with her Tyrannosauruses.
Nice.
There's one final thing that I need to show, that I need to just add to this. Where is that? It's Triplicat's magnum opus.
Oh, I understand now.
Oh, wait a second. I think it's easier to find in here.
Because you linked it?
Because I linked it. Where is that? Wait, that's in the Side Games channel. Hold on. Where'd it go? No, because all he did was he put Tira's face on the Sauron, whatever it is, in the Spider-Man meme, where it's like, with all that scientific knowledge, you could cure cancer. It's like, I don't want to cure cancer.
I want to make dinosaurs.
I want to make dinosaurs.
No, that's very noble. I respect that.
I disagree with the word noble.
Dinosaurs are cool.
Where's Chip's thing? Voice Machiko. There it is. I found it, everybody. We did it. Is it loud? No. Hold on.
You just put it in the screen.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's easier if I do this. There we go. There we go, everybody. And with that, we're signing off. We'll be talking next week about Michael, about Yatima, about whoever the magnificent mole troop character that comes through is. We'll be talking about the rabbit. We'll touch on each of the illustrious weapons. We'll talk a little bit about things that went on during the Christmas stream that we couldn't cover here. There's a lot of news coming into the new year, and we're gonna wait until the new year to do it.
All right, and with that, we call it a night.
We're calling it a night, everybody. So tune in for. Let's see. So tomorrow I will be sparking in Princess Connect and probably sparking Granblue Fantasy at the same time.
I can't wait for Princess Connect. All the duo units have been really good.
It's Greya. I have to. I don't care about anything else. It's Greya, and I have to.
It's okay. There's a lot of magic support in Princess Connect.
All right. Soon. So we'll see you guys soon, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, Trip. Thanks, DJ, for driving down like you usually do and bringing Isaiah with you.
And there's a thumbs up.
All right. Princess Connect got Duo Grand and before GBF did. Well, stuff happens. I'm just going to enjoy this. And yeah, have a happy New Year, everybody. I'll see you before the New Year comes in. And yeah, we'll talk to y'all later. Enjoy.